Alright, now I imagine it can be heard. Hello? Hello, hello, hello. Hello, everyone. Sorry about this. Look, I have no idea what I'm doing. Is it obvious that I have no idea what I'm doing? Anyway, welcome to the Monday stream. Welcome. Yesterday I did an unscheduled stream and we did this girl. I already had kind of a sketch for her, but yeah, we kind of finished her. I mean, not finished, it's still pretty much a sketch, but I'm still unsure about the colors. This is very soft and pastel-y for me. I usually go for darker colors. But I don't know, it must be the influence of summer or something. Which I will point out that I really hate. Well, first question of the stream. How many of you hate summer? Personally, I can't stand it. I can't stand it. It's just horrible. It's a nightmare. Right. Because I will be painting this on a burlap sack, so I need to make sure it looks like something that can be seen. I don't know. Alright, seems dark enough. That's more like my hair color, my actual hair color. Even though this girl is not me, so I don't know why I'm trying to make her look like me. It's not the point. And why aren't you erasing? Maybe it's not this one. No? Nope. This one? Okay, there you go. Ah, that's better. Right. In this hair color, the headphones get really lost. So I don't know what I'm gonna do about that. As always, The issue of my streams is, what the hell do I even talk about? Seriously, what do I talk about? What are things that I like? I like video games. Video games. All right. There are so many good games that I could just talk about, with incredible stories. And some with stories that aren't that great, but the characters are fantastic. Right, may as well. Let's talk about how I had no idea what Final Fantasy was, right? Until what, last year? I mean, I did have an idea. I did. But I just disregarded it. Because I always had that thought that, oh, it's a very cutesy game. It's very soft, very it's more, well, not necessarily girl oriented, but more appealing to girls, perhaps. And it's actually not true, obviously. You don't need me to tell you that. My God, my computer. I swear, this thing, one of these days it's just going to explode. Why do I say that? Because my MacBook Pro has turned 10 years old this year. Like, it's a MacBook Pro 15-inch from 2015. Like, it works wonderfully well for its age, but it does show its age. And the thing is, the problem is, it's too old, so Apple no longer updates it, which I kind of just figured out the hard way, because I wanted to, when I had this plan to live stream, the idea was to live stream by sharing the screen of the iPad and kind of monitoring the thing on my desktop. But even though both pieces of hardware recognize one another, they refuse to connect. They just refuse to connect. And so that is how you find out the hard way that your computer is most definitely way too old. Not that I didn't already know, but you know, that was a harsh reality. The wake-up call. It's not great. Alright, video games. Final Fantasy. Specifically, Final Fantasy VII. Like, yes, like a lot of people who weren't into Final Fantasy, like, when it came out, Final Fantasy VII. I was so incredibly surprised because, my God, that is masterful. It's masterful storytelling. Has to be one of the best stories I've ever experienced. Why does it look like that? But yes, Final Fantasy. And the character of Cloud Strife. Cloud Strife, my God, what a fantastic protagonist. Wonderful, wonderful protagonist. Little did I know that such a complex protagonist was actually in the game. And then seeing the progression of his character arc when he meets Aerith and how he just opens up. Oh my God. I know I repeat myself, but fantastic protagonist. Incredible. And the whole way, okay, spoilers, just to anyone who's listening, because I have spoiled myself the whole story, so I do know what happens. This cosmic connection he has with Aerith. Oh my God. Oh my God. It's just so beautiful. It's so very beautiful. And heartbreaking. Because, the poor boy, he finally finds someone who actually cares for him. Actually cares for him. Who isn't expecting him to be her hero or any sort of nonsense. She likes him for who he is. She likes him just the way he is. And then when he is finally opening up and finally and with the remake you can even tell he's there, a few more days perhaps, and he will tell Aerith how he feels. He will tell her that he loves her. He will tell her how special she is to him. And then she dies in his arms. And I'm like, ah. And that ending in Rebirth, I know a lot of fans from the original were angry. But to me, the ending of Rebirth, it hit me 10 times harder than the way it went in the original. God, why? Because he is in complete denial. His mind just broke. It just went like, no, we can't do this again. We can't handle this again. And why? Because he's gone through this before with Zack. And Cloud is a very, very emotionally sensitive person. Like, sometimes you kind of get into the trap of calling him emotionally weak, but that's really not weakness. It's not weakness. That is the mind of a boy who has... he's been ostracized his whole life, right? He fantasized about being the object of affection of the only girl in Nibelheim, because 1, she was the only girl in Nibelheim, and 2, she ostracized him along with the rest of the boys in Nibelheim. So it was kind of like this maladaptive thing to conquer, much like he developed a superiority complex, like, oh, I'm too good to be their friend, right? It's a coping mechanism. I'm sorry to anyone who likes Tifa. That's great. You like whoever you like, but the fact remains, Tifa was never Cloud's childhood friend. Ever. In fact, now, I won't go as far as to call her a bully. I don't think she was one. But she definitely never interfered. Like, when she falls in Mount Nibel, when she goes out looking for her mum, and Cloud is the only one who goes after her to help her. When everyone starts blaming him, oh, you, it's your fault Tifa fell and whatever. Cloud, being himself, says nothing. And what does Tifa do? Does she go like, no, he didn't do it. He helped me, actually. He was the only one who was there with me. Everyone else left. No. No, Tifa shuts up and says nothing and lets poor Cloud take all the blame. And so this is the kind of character that reacts to the death of his, up until then, one and only friend, Zack, by disassociating completely from the situation. Because he's very, very fragile. And he can't deal with this. Because he finally has someone, again, who actually wants him in their life. Zack makes a point to include him in, in all the activities. And he cheers Cloud up, and he's just an overall great friend. Terrible boyfriend. Sorry, Zack, I love you. I love you as well, but as a boyfriend, I'm glad the thing with Aerith was nothing serious because you left her under the protection of the Turks. And if that is not bad boyfriend behavior, I don't know what is. But I digress. Going back to Cloud. Yeah. He's always been someone he never had friends. There was never anyone in there for him. And so that's why he reacts to Zach's death like that. And now, take it up a notch, and instead of a friend, make it a romantic relationship. Something he fantasized with Tifa, and only, as far as he knew, he could only actually fantasize. Because Tifa never gave him the time of day. She just didn't. Don't bullshit me, okay? She did not. Yep. And then he goes to Midgar and he meets this unbelievable person. Just unbelievable. Who pushes all his buttons in the exact right way. Just enough to make him not only get out of his shell, but go like, wait a minute, does she actually want me in her life? And like every time he tries to use the so-called methods to impress Aerith, the ones that impress Tifa, she shuts him down so fast. And it goes like, oh, battlefields, training grounds, that's the world I know. And she goes like, you sound proud of that. She is so incredible. She's incredible. And it's no wonder Cloud falls in love with her. I mean, who wouldn't? I fell in love with her myself. She's magnificent. And then, like, because he finally has a girl who doesn't want him to be the tough macho man. Like, I'll just say it, awkward as it is, the type of man Tifa is after, it pretty much describes Barrett. When you really think about it, Barrett kind of is Tifa's ideal partner. Of course, it's awkward because, I mean, he's a lot older than her. But I'm speaking just personality-wise, right? He's a family man. He's like all burly and masculine, and he is also really, really sweet and definitely not socially awkward. And he doesn't have an unpleasant past with Tifa. And I think that probably more than anything is a good indicator. Because Tifa really is looking for things in Cloud that aren't there. And something that actually makes me respect Tifa a lot is something that we will not see in the game. And I think it's... Someone correct me if I'm wrong, but I think you only really see the conclusion to Tifa's character arc in the novels, right? You know, that point when she realizes that her affection for Cloud has shifted into something more motherly. And she is no longer like... She doesn't feel like pursuing Cloud like that anymore. And she feels happier. She feels better. And it makes me really, really happy for her. And it makes me respect her a lot, because that is the sign of someone who has matured. And she has very childish ideas of, you know, this... whenever I'm in trouble, you'll just come and save me and be my hero, right? And she finally grows out of that. She grows out of that. And it's really, really good. It's really great for her. And it's sad that we won't see that in the game. I think we should, though. I wish they would put that in the game. I really do. Because there are some scenes with Tifa where she just acts so... She makes me not like her a lot, right? Especially like... Only someone in the Nile would look at Cloud and Aerith's relationship and not conclude that Cloud is absolutely in love with Aerith, right? It's just... This isn't a matter of opinion. It's just a matter of how well you can interpret what you see on the screen. You may not like it. No issues with that whatsoever. If you prefer Cloud with Tifa, then you prefer Cloud with Tifa. But that is just that. A preference. They never end up together. They never will end up together. And honestly, that's a good thing. Can you imagine? Seriously, can you imagine what it would be like? What life would be like to the girl who had to come after Aerith, it's just unfair. Like, always living in the shadows of someone who, honestly, time and memory only makes them seem more and more perfect. And Aerith is already really perfect. But it would just be incredibly unfair to whoever comes after. It's not right. No. But yes, it's heartbreaking. And when he finally falls in love, like if he finally finds the one person for him. And the whole theme of the game is like love overcomes even death, right? Death cannot kill it. It's just heartbreaking. It's so heartbreaking. I wonder, I think I will make the planets like kind of look like they are turning around her head rather, as though her head were like a star. All right, let's try that idea. That one. Oh my god, it's so hot. I have some thoughts on things that will happen and how they will happen in part 3. And one of the scenes I might be most excited about, it might just be the live stream scene. And I think Tifa fans are going to be a bit angry with that scene. Because, and mark my words, when it happens, come back to me and tell me, you were right. You were right. Because I am pretty sure I'm right. I will be right. I'll be proven right. The live stream scene is going to be divided into 3 parts. Mark my words. It will be divided into 3 parts. The first part will be Tifa. Because Tifa, even though they weren't friends, there is no denying that Zack never met Cloud as a kid, right? Has no idea what Cloud was like. No idea. But Tifa was there during Cloud's childhood. So if anyone has any idea what Cloud was like as a kid, as someone who was there, it's Tifa, right? So Tifa will be part 1 of the live stream scene. Part 2, and I will tell you why this is going to happen. Part 2 is going to be Zack. Why? Tifa, that is one scene that makes no sense in the original. That live stream scene makes no sense in the original because Tifa has no idea Cloud was actually in Nibelheim at that time. He has no idea. I mean, she has no idea. And there's no way she could go to Cloud and say, no, you weren't here. You were there. You were one of the infantrymen. You were not the soldier. Because she doesn't know. She just doesn't. Zack, on the other hand, knows that perfectly well. And this is why part 2 of the live stream scene will be with Zack and not Tifa. And part 3, this is what's really going to piss off Tifa fans. Part 3 will be Aerith. And I will tell you right now why. Why? Because I believe Sephiroth / Genova will try to convince Cloud that he is actually the one who killed Aerith. And he is in such denial that he found it much easier to just imagine the big bad Sephiroth killing her instead of the truth, quotes, that it was actually him, which we all know it wasn't. But they will make him, they will convince him that he's the one who did it. And this is going to make it much easier for Genova, Sephiroth, to manipulate Cloud. And in part 3 of the live stream scene, the reason why we will see Aerith the reason we will see Aerith is because Aerith will come to Cloud and tell him, no, you didn't kill me. You did everything you could. And she's going to show him the scene. Right? And this is where we will see the famous burial in the lake, right? which will be Aerith showing Cloud how do I position this? I don't know. But yeah, it's going to be Aerith showing Cloud that he actually tried to save her. He did everything absolutely everything he could. And if there's a scene where Square Enix will finally put the long-awaited kiss, it's going to be that scene. I am almost certain. I would even bet that we will probably see a scene where Cloud just doesn't want to go. He just doesn't want to leave the live stream. Because, I mean, would you? If you were in Cloud's position, would you want to leave the place where you could exist with the love of your life for all eternity? I'm not sure you would say, no, I wouldn't want that. And that is why I think the live stream scene is going to make some people angry. But coming back to the talk of Tifa having some really childish not memories, like ideals for lovers and all that. And I noticed this also in a lot of people who argue for Cloud and Tifa being the canon romance. Because they go like, oh, they had sex under the high wind, so definitely canon. I don't know if you're aware of this, but sex hardly means love. I'm sorry, but if you can't accept that is true, then I don't know what to tell you. Which honestly, I'm not even sure if anything happened under the high wind, but let's say it did, right? Let's say it did. Do you not think trying to have sex with a young man who you know has had an insane identity crisis, who has lost the love of his life, who died in his arms, who has lost his best friend, who has had his mind taken over by an eldritch entity, with the face of the man who killed his mother. Don't you think trying to be intimate with a man who went through all that, with someone who went through all that, do you think, especially at the time it happened, which was just like before that big final battle, I think it's very manipulative. Personally, in my opinion, very manipulative. And I know a lot of people who, like Cloud and Aerith, were angry that Aerith didn't get the kiss, but Tifa did. I am so glad. You don't understand. I'm so glad Aerith didn't get that kiss. One, because it perfectly fits her character. Aerith knows, at the very least to some extent, everything that Cloud has gone through. She knows that something is not right. She feels it, she sees it, and she keeps telling me, Aerith keeps telling me, oh, I wish, no, she keeps telling Cloud, I'm trying to meet you. I want to meet you. I'm trying so hard to find you, the real you, right? And Cloud doesn't understand because he's in his own mind and he's too close to see. And that is a very real thing. When you are just too close to what's happening to you, that you just can't see clearly. And I'm so glad. I am so glad that the Ferris wheel scene with Aerith didn't have a kiss. I'm so glad. I know I keep saying this, but I really am. I really am. Because the scene with Tifa leaves such a bitter taste in my mouth. If I feel so uncomfortable every time I watch that scene. I no matter how you twist it, there's no denying that Cloud is not in a good state of mind. He just isn't. And to try to kiss him in a moment such as that, it makes me really angry with Tifa. It really does. In case you haven't noticed yet, I'm very, very protective of Cloud. I really fell in love with that character. He's wonderful. He's wonderful. I really do love him. And to see him being taken advantage of like that, especially saying something like, I can't remember a time when we've been this close. Yes, of course you can't, because you've never been close to begin with. Ever. Even though I think that scene doesn't make me as angry as the one in Gongaga. You know, when Cloud is finally letting Tifa in. He finally opens up to her about his insecurities, his doubts. And at first, as the scene goes, I was like, well done, Tifa. Yes, reassure him. Everything's fine. Because she goes to take his hand and reassure him, hey, everything's fine. But then she tries to kiss him. And I promise you, I'm trying to like Tifa. I really am. Like, when I first got introduced to her, I actually really liked her. She's this very caring, sweet, very motherly kind of character. She's nice. And then I see the way she treats Cloud. And I try very hard not to hate her. Because it's very, very manipulative. And you will notice after that scene in Gongaga, Cloud doesn't open up to Tifa again. Go and watch the cinematics after that scene. He doesn't open up to her again after that. And as someone who is a little like Cloud in that regard, I can tell you exactly why that is. He was trying to let her into his world. He was trying to confide in her. And she only cared about how pretty he is. Oh, my hero, but actually you saved me. Look. Fine. Right? But the man was manipulated into attacking you, which in turn almost got you killed. He feels incredibly guilty at that time. In that moment, actually, I haven't seen the scene in a while, but I believe he even says something along the lines of, like, I'm surprised you even want to see my face, right? Because he almost killed her. Right? And the connection he has with Tifa is not the same as the one he has with Aerith. Tifa cannot snap him out of it. Aerith can. Tifa cannot. So he really could have killed her without wanting to. It would have destroyed him. This is not a time to be kissing a boy, honestly, a boy, because he's like 23. This is not the time to be kissing a boy who has just gone through that, who believes that he was manipulated into almost killing, in attacking and almost killing his childhood friend, which she isn't, but he thinks she was a childhood friend. This is not the time to try and kiss him. When he tells her, I think I'm deteriorating like the other soldiers. I'm losing my mind. This is not the time to try to kiss him. This is the time to do what I thought she was going to do when I watched this scene for the first time. This is a time to take his hand and say, everything's going to be fine. If you ever start slipping away, I'll be here for you to hold on to. I don't care how hot you think he is, Tifa. Okay? Read the situation. And you're hearing this from an autistic woman. So trust me, it takes me some effort to read the situation. And I still did. And again, it's why I'm so glad there wasn't a kiss between Cloud and Aerith. Because it wouldn't have been right. And not only that, it's not in character. Aerith wouldn't do something like that. Why? Because Aerith is a very perceptive and empathetic person. And it takes one look at Cloud to know that something's not right. Even if she wasn't a Cetra, she would know. How do I know that? Barrett can tell. Even some strangers Cloud comes across in the game can tell. Tifa herself knows that something is not right. Like she knows that Cloud wasn't there during the Nibelheim incident. She doesn't know that he was, right? But according to what she knows, he wasn't. So, what the hell? What's going on, right? It bothers me. Not so much for the fictional story, because it's a fictional story. It is what it is. What bothers me the most is the way some people read it. And it just makes me realize that a lot of people think this sort of behavior is all right. That this is, perfectly acceptable. And it's not. Please don't ever do something like that. If you have a friend that is going through some stuff, you like them, right? You may even be in love with them. Who knows? But you see them go through this nightmare. You see that they are confused. The thing you do is not try to get in their pants, right? That's not what you do. No, what you do is you try to be there for them, yeah? And if they are in love with someone else, be like Zach. Be like the amazing Zach Fair. Who has, oh my god, poor Zach. Marlene is ruthless. Marlene is ruthless. I still can't believe the devs deliberately had a character there say, with all the words, yeah, she likes him. Oh, so great. And Zach, bless his heart, took it. Like the incredible guy he is. Because what did he do? He didn't throw a hissy fit. He was a bit... Damn, I like Aerith. You could have not gotten with my girl, Cloud. But he is also very emotionally mature. And what does he do? He immediately reassesses the situation, and he goes like, okay, there are things here that I don't know about. I don't have the context to understand, and I can't understand. And honestly, I'm kind of pissed. But, and, my God, this is what makes him particularly wonderful. If Aerith likes him, then I'll get out of the way. Oh, Zach, you amazing, incredible guy. Just incredible. Because that's what emotionally mature people do, right? Things don't always go our way. That's just how things are. Sometimes the people we like don't like us back. And we have to accept that. Because what else are we going to do? Throw a hissy fit? Like, really? What are we? 12? Come on. No. We accept it like adults. And we move forward. And this is why Zach Fair is incredible. Then and there, right? He just goes like, damn, my girl's in love with one of my best friends. Crap. But then he goes like, well, if he makes her happy, and if she likes him, then I'm good. We should all strive to be a bit more like Zach. I mean, at this point, I'm just asking, okay, how many stars do you want in this thing? How many stars do you want in her hair? I'm like, yes. Sure. Okay. But yes might be a big number. We should cut on that, yes. Maybe. Maybe. Oh my god, it's so hot. But yeah, how tragic is Cloud Strife's story? Now that is just heartbreaking. It's heartbreaking. Because, you expect him to get the happy ending. He gets the girl, he saves the day. But not really. He actually doesn't. But it's another thing that I also really like about Final Fantasy VII's story is how Cloud is not the one who saves the day. Cloud helps. Save the day. He doesn't do it alone. He's not this powerhouse of strength and ability and all that. He needs help. Right? And it's so wonderful because it starts from a point where he's too arrogant to actually accept help. But then, as time goes on, he eventually starts to accept it. Yeah. It's a really wonderful story. And while we're in the topic of video games, we may as well keep talking about video game characters that I love. Video game characters that I love and no one else seems to love. Amanda Everett from Tomb Raider. I've said it before, I'll say it again. Amanda is by far my favourite Tomb Raider character. Yes, I like her more than I like Lara. A lot more. A lot more. It's not even up for discussion, right? She is so absolutely incredible. And I feel like also so underrated as a character. I mean, this is me speculating, of course, but I get the impression that the character of Amanda was meant to be more relevant than she actually ended up being. Because, I mean, look. Take the voice actress they chose for Amanda, Katsusi. You may not be familiar with her, that's alright, but just to let you know, like, she is like at the same level, if not a little bit above. Oh my god, I forgot the name of the actress who voiced Natla. She's also really, really huge in the voice acting world. But just so you know, yeah, they are kind of at the same level, not trying to you know, go like, oh, one is better than the other. But I think Katsusi is a bit more well known. And it turns out she never really actually became that relevant character. Especially when you play Tomb Raider Underworld and you notice that she has some moves, some animations that you would see in a playable character. Where do I put this? Also, I always have this itch to talk about that one time that I have no idea how this happened, but I just sent a message to Toby God on DeviantArt and he bloody answered. And I'm just like, what? And I was like, no. Let me make sure it was him. Yeah. It was very, very brief, obviously. But, and And I did question him about Amanda, and it's so satisfying to know that he seemed to love the character, like, a lot as well. And okay, I'm not going to show messages or anything of the sort, so you take this with a grain of salt, believe it or not. That's fine. But in the messages, like, oh my god, it was both gratifying and heartbreaking. Because I asked him something along the lines of, I think, will there ever be a game with Amanda as the protagonist or something of the sort? And the message he sent back was, at one point, we talked about making Amanda DLC, but it's not going to happen. And oh my god, it breaks my heart to this goddamn day, because she's so incredible. She's such an incredible character. Such an incredible character. Like, she's the perfect mixture of sassy and sarcastic and bitchy. Oh, damn. Like, it breaks me. Now, you don't understand. It breaks me. It breaks my heart. Can you imagine having a game where you play as Amanda Everett? Oh, the dream. The dream. The absolute dream that's only ever going to be a dream. Especially, she has such cool powers, right? It just goes on the list of the coolest things that could exist in the world, but never will. For reasons that I don't know. Like, another addition to the list of things that would be absolutely incredible, but will also probably never happen. And I have no idea why. Metal Gear Rising: Revengeance 2. Explain to me, please, how a game sells that abysmally well, and they even make a questionnaire to us, the poor hopeful players, asking us, hey, if there was to be an MGR2, what would you want in the game, huh? Huh? It's like that wink, wink, nudge, nudge, huh? If there happened to be one, because the game sold so incredibly well. Where is it? Where is my Metal Gear Rising 2? Where is it? Same with a game that people are more familiar with, even though it only came out 2 years after Metal Gear Rising Revengeance. Bloodborne. Why do we not have a Bloodborne 2? Why has Sony remastered games that don't need to be remastered and no one wants to play? Like The Last of Us Part 2. Yeah, I said it. The game's terrible. It's terrible, come at me. Tell me it's not. The first one is a work of art. Incredible game. I will always treasure the first time I played The Last of Us Part 1. The Last of Us. Okay, there's only one. I don't care. I will always treasure the first time I played The Last of Us. It was incredible. The storytelling was phenomenal. It was incredible. The character connections just, wonderful. The way they build up the relationship between Joel and Ellie, it's fantastic. It's absolutely fantastic. And even the DLC, right? The little backstory we see with her and I believe the girl she liked, it was Riley. I could be mistaken about that. I didn't check it. But I think her name was Riley. And it was just so good. And people nowadays come at those of us who honestly don't like The Last of Us Part 2. And they have the guts to say, oh, you just don't like it because you're homophobic. I'm sure actual homophobic people complained about it. I have no doubt. I'm sure they did. But I saw none. I saw exactly 0 complaints when the Left Behind DLC came out. 0. Do you know why? Because no one cares. No one cares if Ellie's into girls. So she's into girls, yeah, and? Has she stopped being Ellie because she's into girls? No? Then why should I care? She's still the same character. She's still great. So, why should I care? Again, no one does. No one cares. It's irrelevant. The issue was never has been Ellie's sexuality. It has never been that. Never was. The issue is pretending that was an issue. And I'm sorry, the moment you have Ellie Williams turning to a man who just apologized to her because he was a bit rude, let's be honest. And he goes like, bigot sandwiches. Oh, that is disgusting. It's disgusting behavior. I had to deliberately, just mentalize myself. Okay, this is not Ellie. Because if I didn't, I would start hating Ellie, who I fell in love with in the first game. I think, honestly, most of us fell in love with Ellie because she was such a cool character, so cool. She wasn't a weird psychopath or anything like that. It's just great. She was just a girl trying to live in a really unfair world, post-apocalyptic world, where no one cares if you're into girls. They have bigger issues. I know. Some people might not believe that, but in a post-apocalyptic world, who you choose to go to bed with hardly matters when we are thinking about how to survive and how to eat the next day. Yeah. Another thing about that game that is utterly ludicrous. Abby. Why is Abby ludicrous? Abby has the body build of a woman who takes steroids, drinks protein shakes for breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and hits the gym like 5 days a week. Not 7, because she takes those breaks to make sure her muscle mass bulks up, right? She looks like a bodybuilder. And I will remind you again, The Last of Us takes place in a post-apocalyptic world. You will have to tell me, where the hell does Abby get her protein shakes? Where does she get the testosterone that she is definitely taking to have a physique like that? I mean, I don't imagine she's finding it foraging for canned food. Now that is something to think about. Because if there's one thing that I hate about, this nonsense of, oh, women are powerful, women are strong, we're stronger than men. First of all, I don't need to be stronger than a guy. In fact, I'm not delusional enough to believe that I am or will ever be. Right? Why? Because biology's made it very clear. And I'm fine not being as strong as a guy. I know. Hard to believe, I know. Can you believe that? No, but yeah, I mean, you'd think it's, you know, a normal thing to come to terms with, but apparently not. Apparently not. And to any women, especially if you're bodybuilders or something, if you think you have a chance of strength, you know, against the average guy, I have terrible news for you. You won't like it. I'm sorry. But the reality is, you're not going to fare very well. You don't need to be physically strong to be worthy of existing. Don't let this nonsense delete the beauty that is femininity. Think of how incredible, just how incredible femininity actually is. And if you are there listening to me and thinking, there it goes. Now that's a trad wife, super feminine. I'm not. Oh, I assure you. Super feminine, trad wife, I am not. What I am is not delusional. And you know, that counts for something. Maybe you can strive to not be delusional either. Why? Because I can very easily see a woman in danger with a guy, you know, dealing with a dangerous guy out there. Like, picture it, right? And she thinks, oh, I can deal with him. And she doesn't call for help. And then what happens? That's right. Yeah. Why? Because this nonsense that, oh, women are as physically capable as men has just infiltrated the world. And because of that, the likelihood of a woman losing her life because she believed that nonsense is ridiculously high. It's ridiculously high. And I don't want that to happen. So yeah, Abby's physique in a post-apocalyptic world makes as much sense as my presence at a party, whatever the party might be, has no business being there, yeah? Also, like, if you disagree with me on this next point, do let me know. But on the topic of The Last of Us 2, personally, what made me angry about Joel's death wasn't that Joel died. It wasn't Joel dying in the game that made me angry. What bothered me about Joel's death was that they had to make him stupid in order to put him in that specific situation. Probably people who haven't played the game, the first one, either didn't care or didn't notice, fine. Right? But Joel, we know for a fact, he has told us this. He has been on both sides. Like, he has been ambushed and he has ambushed people. He tells us this in the first game. And honestly, do you doubt that? Because I don't. Joel was a hardened man in the first game. Like, I have zero doubts that Joel was telling the truth in that instance. Do you think Joel freaking Miller, would see a stranger he's unfamiliar with camping at a house that has a perfect view into the place where he lives? A sizable group at that. Pretty big group, Abby's. And he doesn't put two and two together. That, oh, this is an ambush. Are you seriously trying to tell me? Are you really telling me that? You can't be telling me that. Certainly, you're not trying to tell me that. Because I've met Joel Miller in the first game. I know exactly how cunning, how ruthless he is. And he would never let himself be caught in that particular situation. You know what Joel would have done? He would have picked up on it pretty much immediately. And even if he took refuge at the house, he would have held Tommy back and he would have told them, the Abby's group, we're staying with the horses. And he would have been ready. And don't get me started on on his brother just going like, oh yeah, I think I forgot his name. Oh Jesus, did I say his name? I don't even know. I'm just gonna call him Sam because I'm thinking about Death Stranding. But yeah, it's Sam, isn't it? Now I have to check it. Joel Miller's brother. Tommy. Oh, yeah, Sam, Johnny, Tommy. Same thing. But yeah, Tommy. Right. Like, to have Tommy just go like, oh yeah, I'm Tommy and this is my brother Joel. Like, I know from the first game, Tommy can be a bit naive. It's true. He can be a bit naive. But he's not stupid. He knows Joel has harmed a lot of people. He has to keep this community safe. Right? He has a community to keep safe. The one thing Tommy would have been alerted to even more than Joel is, what are these people doing here? Who are they? What do they want? Standing so close to town but just outside enough. So yes, my issue with Joel's death is not that they killed him in the game. Actually, I was expecting it. Tell you right now, I was expecting Joel to die in the second game. What I was not expecting was for him to be turned into an idiot and then brutally killed. And even the brutality of his death, I mean, it's the world of The Last of Us. So, the brutality is to be expected. Yes, sure. But the brutality was never the issue. The issue was that they turned Joel into an absolute idiot. And for some reason that I have no idea why, they made him religious. Now imagine turning a guy like Joel religious. It's something. It's something. And am I religious? No, I'm not. But do I think, especially with how cynical Joel is, do I think he would ever turn religious? No, I do not. I do not. Agree with me, disagree with me, it's fine. But religious? I don't think so. I really don't think so. Christ, no. So yeah, those are my 2 cents. On The Last of Us. And apparently part 3 of Final Fantasy VII Remake. Oh, we've just hit the 2-hour mark. Alright, I think I'm going to be done here. Oh, Jesus, I'm going to have to go back tomorrow. I really don't feel like... Anyway, we're talking about things that are already ahead of there. Okay. So, thank you very much for coming to my TED Talk. And thank you very much for watching. If you are watching on YouTube and you reach this far, thank you so very much. Thank you very much if you've actually watched the 2 hours. It means a lot. And I will definitely be here next Monday. Although I have been thinking about starting to live stream on Saturdays as well. I live streamed yesterday on Sunday, but that's really because on Saturday I was just too stressed and I just couldn't bring myself to do it. But yeah, we'll see. Now, I will definitely be here on Monday. You can rest assured of that. Either you want to or not, I will be here. I'm not sure if I'll keep working on this girl or not. Maybe. Maybe not. We will see. And that was all for today. Thank you very, very, very much. And let me see if I can finish the live stream. Can I finish this? I'm not sure. Okay. Bye. If I can. I will close it as soon as I manage.